So, welcome you all to the Sunday Bhagavad Gita classes. So, we are in the chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita. And chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita is also called as the summary of Bhagavad Gita and also called as Sankhya Yoga, where there is an analytical study, especially on the matter of body and the soul, is only discussed in the chapter 2. And by understanding chapter 2, there is greater possibility for us to understand the entire Bhagavad Gita. So, the acronym of the chapter is Gita. G stands for accepting the Guru. So, we saw from sloka number 1 to sloka number 2, Arjuna had various doubts. Doubts about what? About fighting the war. He was thinking by fighting the war, he might be causing trouble to his relatives, to his guru, to his teacher. By not fighting, he will be disappointing his own brothers. He'll be disappointing people on his own side, right? Because Draupadi was insulted. So many things, unfair things has happened with Pandavas. And Arjuna was a great warrior. So he was the one who represented Pandavas in the front side. So both of things did not entice Arjuna, and he was so much worried and he had tears in his eyes. At that point of time, what did Arjuna do? He surrendered himself to Lord
Krishna.
Krishna. So Karpanya dosha pagatta swabhava prichami tvam dharma sammoda cheta yashreyasya nichitam bruhitan me shishyasya shadi mam tvam prapanna. So he's saying, I am overcome by the miserly weakness because Arjuna is a great warrior. A miser is the one who has money but cannot spend. So Arjuna, in spite of having all the skills, he was not ready to fight. He was reluctant to fight. So he compared himself to that of a miser. And at that point of time, he wants to take shelter of Krishna to understand what is right and what is wrong for him. Because Arjuna can only see the immediate things. He could not think that which is in benefit for us in long term. It happens for us also whenever we are in a grumpy mood, whenever we are in a moroseful situation, we are not able to think further, right? We are only thinking about the immediate situation. The immediate problems are only clouding us, correct? So Arjuna
Yes.
is also clouded with the immediate problems, therefore he is surrendering. So in the next division, I, which is identity of the soul, from sloka number 11 to 30, Krishna is giving the knowledge about what? About the body and the soul. He says that the soul is eternal, whereas the body is temporary. So even though it apparently appears that you're killing your uh, grandfather, your guru, and your fellow beings, but actually speaking, nobody can kill anyone because we are the soul. So Krishna is giving several characteristics about the soul, analytical study between the difference between the body and the soul. Soul is avinashi, it's imperishable, but body is perishable.
Parishab.
And then he is also talking about two dharmas, okay, that is given as C and D. One is swadharma, another is parodharma.
Parodharma.
So in swadharma, what happens? People are doing their own activities, doing your own prescribed duty. And during that process, generally people do the karma kanda sacrifices, karma kanda rituals. For everything that we have, we do certain rituals. And so that, but the problem with those things or these rituals are fruitive activities. So the more we are doing fruitive activities, what did Krishna compare that to? Yamima Pushpitam Vacham. They are all compared to that kind of a very flowery languages, Vedas. So they are enticing us, do this, you will get that. Do that, you will get that. Like we see today, there are so many property ads. They come with lot of beautiful brochures, facilities. If you're attending any kind of their description about their property, they will talk to you in such a way that you cannot see any property in this world which can be superior to them, right? They
Yeah.
will just tell us that this is one of the best property ever that one can buy. But when you actually get the possession and when you start living there, you will see thousands of problems coming in that property. right? So similarly, the Vedas, they are enticing us, you go for this, you go for that. And when you're actually fulfilling your senses, what happens is you get more and more entangled in the material world. Although it is a gradual purification, but the problem is in the Kali Yuga, the age, the number of years that we live is very limited.
Yes.
Yesterday we saw in Mulund, one of the bridge, the metro bridge, the concrete, it just fell on an auto and a car. Imagine those people who are in the auto and in the car, not necessarily they are old people above 70 or 80. It can be even a child who is 2 years old. So we can see that in Kali Yuga, as predicted in Bhagavatam, Manda Sumanda Matayor Manda Bhagya. We are also unfortunate today. We do not know when we just go out of the home until we come back home. There's no guarantee that we get back home, right? That's what in the previously we discussed. Padam padam hi vipadamna tesham. Bhagavatam says there is a danger in every
Everything.
step. And this is about thing. But Krishna is telling to Arjuna, because even though we are aware that we are not the body, we are the soul, at one go, we cannot get out of the bodily conception of the life, right? Even today, if we are trying to remember someone, what comes to us in the beginning? About how they look, about who they are, about their designations and everything, right? So, therefore, Krishna is saying Arjuna, because Arjuna had several statements he put forward for not fighting the war, and Krishna is refuting each and every statement. So, through the Jnana section, he refuted the statement on compassion. And through this session, Krishna is talking about enjoyment. When Arjuna was worried about loss of enjoyment, Krishna is saying if you gain, if you win the battle, you will be ruling the earthly kingdom. If you lose the battle, you will be going to heavenly planet. So,
Every
therefore, either way, you will be enjoying. So, Krishna is talking about enjoyment. And later on, Krishna is saying, Arjuna, stop. This world is not all about enjoyment. Go beyond this. And he is instructing Arjuna on the Buddhi Yoga, the transcendental knowledge. Do your duty without expecting any results. First, he is saying, whatever you're doing, it is about enjoyment you will get. He himself is talking about the results. And after talking that, Krishna is elevating his pitch and saying that do things, whatever activities we are doing. How do we do? We have to do the activities without expecting any results. And particularly, we have to concentrate our efforts on pleasing Krishna. We have to center Krishna and do our activities to please Krishna. So that is about the Buddhi Yoga, which Krishna is talking about, which is also called Parodharma, because we have eternal relation with Lord, right? Everybody in this material world, every relation is temporary, correct? We see people in the material world, each and every year, they celebrate Valentine's Day with different partners, correct? Who is my Valentine this year? But the love that Krishna has towards us is eternal. He is always there with us. Even we may ignore Krishna. We may forget Krishna. We may not even know that Krishna is within our heart. We do not even know that Krishna is our well wisher. But Krishna always comes with us as Paramatma. Even if we are taking the body of the dog in the next lifetime, still Krishna is accompanying us as Paramatma. He never leaves us, correct? He is our well wisher and who is always accompanying us no matter whichever body we are having. So he is our well. So we need to understand that and act accordingly. So how nice it would be, you're always, Krishna is giving invitation to his Dhamma through this session. So how nice it will be for us to go back to the Krishna's planet and serve him eternally. There is no birth, there is no death, there is no old age, there is no disease, there is no threefold miseries, there is no Adi Bhautik, Adi Dhaivik, and Adhyatmik miseries due to our own mind, miseries due to the other living entities, and misery due to the natural calamities. So Krishna is inviting. That's what in the Bhagavatam, Brahmaji says this sloka, Samasrita ye pada pallava plavam Mahat Padam Punya Yasho Murare. So the great sages, whose shelter they take? They take the shelter of Krishna. Mahat Padam. And who is he? Krishna is a Mahat Padam, the entire material world manifested only from Krishna. And he is famously known as Yasho Murare. He is the one who killed the demon Murari. And by taking his shelter, what happens to us? Bhavambudir Vatsa Padam Param Padam. This material ocean world, which is like a Bhavasagar, where we cannot even see the end of the shore, how small the ocean becomes? As small as the water contained in the footprints of the calf. So the material ocean becomes very, very small.
Small.
And where do we go? Param Padam Padam, to that place where there is no miseries. And they do not want to live in which place? Padam Padam hi vipadam natesham. So the great sages, they endeavor to go to that place where there is no miseries, not to live in a place where there is a danger in every step. Padam Padam hi vipadam natesham. And today, how relevant this particular line of the verse, Padam Padam hi vipadam natesham. Every day when you're reading the news, are we seeing some dangerous situation happening in the world? Not even in the world, just around us. Just read Mumbai news. I'm not talking about the world news at all. Even within Mumbai, around our own vicinity, how many unfortunate things are happening? Right? So, and then the last session today, which we are going to start, is Atma Rama, a person in Krishna consciousness. He is called as Sthita Prajna, one who is fixed in Krishna consciousness. The symptoms of a person who is Krishna consciousness. How does he act? How does he behave? How does he talk? How does he sit? How do you know that a person in Krishna consciousness? And because if you say that, if somebody is having fever, that means there is some symptom of the person. He must be not able to eat properly. He may have some body pain, and he will feel feverish. His temperature will be high. So, like that, we can see the symptoms. So, if somebody is saying that they are Krishna conscious, just by saying, can somebody become Krishna conscious? I may wear a kanti, I may wear a tilak, I may wear a bead bag, but these are all the external appearance. But internally, if I am not behaving up to that, then can I be called a person who is in Krishna consciousness? No. So there are symptoms of a devotee. How does he speak? How does he talk? So Arjuna is very intelligently, when Krishna is speaking about Buddhi Yoga, he is also asking, please tell me a person who is in Buddhi Yoga or in Krishna consciousness, how does he act? How do I know that this person is Krishna conscious? So very intelligently, Arjuna is putting forward this question because the entire Vedic scripture is on Jijnasa. We need to ask questions. So we can see how beautifully Arjuna is asking questions to Krishna. Okay. Arjuna Uvacha, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 54. Please repeat after me. Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Sita Prajnasya ka bhasha.
स्थितप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा
Samadhistasya Keshava.
समाधिस्तस्य केशव
Stitadim kim prabhasheta.
स्थितादिं किं प्रभादेव दे प्रभासेद
किमासीत व्रजेत किम्
किमासीत व्रजयत किम्
स्थितप्रज्ञास्य का भाषा
स्थितप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा
समाधिस्तस्य केशव
समाधिस्तस्य केशव
स्थितादिं किं प्रभाषेत
स्थितादि किं प्रभेदे देश
किमासीत व्रजेत किम्
किमाशी प्रजेत किम्
स्थितप्रज्ञास्य का भाषा
स्थितप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा
समाधिस्तस्य केशव
समाधिस्तस्य केशव
स्थितादिं किं प्रभाषेत
स्थिताधि किं प्रभादेश
किमासीत व्रजेत किम्.
किमासीद व्रजेत किम्.
Wants to do this sloka? Uma Mataji, would you like to do?
जी माताजी. Bhagavad-gita, chapter 2, text 54. Arjuna uvacha
Arjuna Uvacha
स्थिता प्रज्ञास्य का भाषा
Stita Prajnasya Kabasha
समाधिस्तस्य केशव
Samadhistasya Keshava
स्थितादि किं प्रभाते शेष
Stitadi Kim Prabhasheta
किमास्ति व्रजेत किम्.
Kimasita Vrajeta Kim.
Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna said, Sthita Prajnasya, of one who is situated in fixed Krishna consciousness, Ka, what? Bhasha, language, Samadhistasya, of one situated in trance, Keshava, O Krishna, Sthitadhi, one fixed in Krishna consciousness, Kim, what? Prabhashita, speaks, Kim, how? Asita, does remain still, Prajeta, walks, Kim, how? Translation. Arjuna said, O Krishna, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? How does he speak and what is his language? How does he sit and how does he walk?
Thank you, Mataji. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swamiti Namine. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Desatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Basadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So here Arjuna is asking very beautiful question to Krishna about a person who is in Krishna consciousness. There must be some symptoms.
Symptoms.
How does he know that he is merged in transcendence? How do you know? When you see a very saintly people, we can see that the purity is emanating from them, right? Can't we not see that? Some people externally, they may have a dress of a saffron cloth, they may appear like a sage, but internally they will have a lot of material desires. They will not, it is only external, but a pure devotee, we can see that the radiation will be shown in them, like Prabhupada. Prabhupada was not very fair skin or anything. He was having even a very small stature, like 5.2, 5.3, like that. And the devotees who are describing about Prabhupada, when Prabhupada walks, you could feel, that kind of, some shine, that is following Prabhupada, that purity, it emanates from Srila Prabhupada. Imagine in the Tompkinson Park, Prabhupada was just sitting and chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. He was just doing Kirtan every day for 3 hours, non-stop, constantly, for months together. And just by seeing his purity and everything, people came, they got attracted, they started participating in the kirtan, and they listened to Prabhupada's classes. And from such a deep trodden stage, they were drunkens who were in the drugs, and who were meat eaters, who were involved in all the illicit sex. So much of bad habits these people were having. And when they came in the association of Srila Prabhupada, like an iron rod, it is cold. But when the iron rod gets in contact with the fire, constant touch of the iron rod with the fire, what will happen to the iron rod?
It will melt automatically and it will break.
Autumn iron rod will become fiery.
Fiery.
The quality of the iron will become fiery. So we may be like an iron rod, but when we are in touch with Krishna and his pure devotees and his representative, by constantly being in touch with Krishna and through his representative, then we can also develop their quality.
Mold it.
As of now, it may look very different or very difficult for us. But For that, what we should do is we should constantly remain in touch with Krishna, with Mahamantra, by reading Prabhupada's book, by hearing to Prabhupada's classes, by serving the devotees of Krishna, by going to the temple, by worshipping the Lord. By doing all those things, we can also develop that kind of a purity in them. How does he speak? He does not speak any nonsense. When a sadhu, when he speaks, whatever he speaks, it's only about Krishna. He does not speak anything else, which is not there. So these are the things which Arjuna is clarifying. Because if today there are so many bogus gurus. In the name of Guru, they talk so much of nonsense things, right? Even in the temple, people go to the temple. Generally, today is Mahashivratri. Very nice, pious people, they go to the temple. But what do we go and ask Lord Shiva? For some material benefits. We say, Lord Shiva, say, my son has not married yet. So please find a good match for him. I am stuck up in this job, in this position for a very long time. So please help me to get me a promotion. I am stuck up in this particular neighborhood for a very long time. I would probably like to move to a better neighborhood. Like that, we are keep on asking for more and more material desires. And if there is a sadhu, what do? We ask them bless for a good wife. If a boy is of marriageable age, if a boy is small, then we'll say bless him with good education. Correct? If we are little bit old, then we tell bless us with good health. Everything that we are looking is only for our immediate relief. We do not think in the long
Long
term.
term.
Suppose, you're going to a housing society and you're asking, the people, what do they think about their life? What are the problems that they face in their life? They say that, we have water only for 2 hours. It would be nice if we can get 24 hours water. It would be nice if we have a library. It would be nice if we have this. But if you see, there are so many societies where you have all such facilities like 24/7 water, everything. But are the people happy? Or the people living in such society where they have uninterrupted electricity and uninterrupted water and all the desires, they have like good space and everything, are they all happy? No, because we do not think that, because we think happiness means getting what we want. And it's not only our mistake. This is how the entire world is designed. Wherever you go in the billboard, you see a billboard, they entice you. You see an advertisement, they say that if you drink Complan, you will become a very healthy boy and you will become a very happy boy. Right? They say your happiness is drinking Complan. So people who are quite poor, who can't even afford, they work so hard. Okay, I will try to give Complan to my boy so that my boy will grow stronger.
Stronger,
Correct?
sharper, taller.
Starbucks, because every parent wants something good for their children.
Yeah.
So many ways, we are cheated. And what is this language? How does he speak? What kind of language he use? He does not use any kind of foul languages and everything, which Krishna will be talking about. These are the questions which Arjuna is asking. And in the next few verses, Krishna will be responding to these questions. How
Questions.
does he sit? How does he walk? So everything you can see that. And Prabhupada is the one who has actually shown all these symptoms of a transcendental person, of a very saintly person, a person who is in Krishna consciousness. So,
Consciousness.
importance of the word symptoms. As there are symptoms for each and every man in terms of his particular situation, similarly, one who is Krishna conscious has his particular nature, talking, walking, thinking, feeling, etc. You can
Mm.
recognize the rich man by the clothes he wears, seeing the type of car he drives, and the type of building he lives. You can immediately understand that he is a rich man just by his symptoms. And if by seeing a poor person also, we can immediately recognize that he is a poor. He may not be wearing good clothes, his hairs may not be clean, and he may be walking. You can clearly recognize, the differentiate between the rich person and
Rich man
poor
and the
person by just the symptoms. How do they look like? A healthy person and a diseased person, a happy person and a sad person. Everybody we can recognize with the symptoms. So, similarly, for a person who is Krishna conscious, what are the symptoms? So, that's what Arjuna is asking. So, various kinds of symptoms. Mataji, would you like to read?
yes, has various kinds of symptoms. As a rich man has the symptoms by which he is known as a rich man, as a diseased man has the symptoms by which he is known as diseased, or as a learnt man who has the symptoms. So, a man in transcendental consciousness of Krishna has specific symptoms in various dealings. One can know his specific symptoms from the Bhagavad Gita.
So, as everything has symptoms, so a Krishna conscious person also has symptoms. So, that's what now Krishna has given very clearly who is a real sadhu. Now, if we are approaching a sadhu, now we know by reading Bhagavad Gita carefully and properly, we can understand who is a real sadhu, right?
Sadhu.
Most important symptom, Mataji.
Most important symptom. Most important is how the man in Krishna consciousness speaks. For speech is the most important quality of any man. It is said that a fool is undiscovered as long as he does not speak, and certainly a well dressed fool cannot be identified unless he speaks. But as soon as he speaks, he reveals himself at once.
So true, right? It's
Yeah.
all mainly the speech that is very important. Above all the qualities, the speech is important. Unless a person speaks, you cannot know him. He may be well dressed, he may appear learned, externally looking. But the moment he speaks, you know that he is a fool. Until he speaks, you do not know who he is, right? So, suppose you're going for an interview. People generally, they dress up very nicely for the interview, correct? They try to appear their best. But just by seeing their appearance, are they going to get the job?
No,
They make them speak.
speak.
They by speaking with them, they understand how useful this person would be for their concern, how much dedicated he will be, and how much commitment he will show towards the organization, right? Not just by seeing, right? So that is very important, is how a Krishna conscious person speaks. So speech is very, very important. Even when two countries fight, they have a war, let's say the war between Ukraine and Russia, it's not just one fine day, Russia fought against Ukraine. No, they were talking, they were verbally fighting for long time. Only when the verbally, when things were not getting controlled or convinced or come to any decision, at that time what they did, they started fighting. So we know that everything starts with a speech, right? If we see a person is murdering another person, it's not immediately he murders. It could have been that they had some
Argument.
misunderstanding, they had
Yeah,
an argument. That is why, so we can speak that how important is speech in our life. So we should be very, very careful
therefore.
when we speak to other person. Only speak what is needed. When something is not needed, not need to speak. Like a frog, because of its croaking sound, it invites the snake. Otherwise, will the snake will be able to identify the frog? Frog is such
No,
a animal which is most
cannot be.
camouflaged. You cannot even see the frog. It can be easily getting camouflaged in between the bushes and anything. But because of its croaking sound, the frog itself invites the snake. I am here, come and take it, right? With that sound, the snake tries to capture the frog. So our speech can become very, very destructive for us. So therefore, a Krishna conscious person knows how to speak. We need to understand. Yes, Mataji, continue.
Immediate symptoms of Krishna consciousness, conscious person. The immediate symptom of a Krishna conscious man is that he speaks only of Krishna and the matters relating to him. Other symptoms then automatically follow as stated below.
So main thing is a Krishna conscious person speaks only about Krishna and anything that is related to it. Maybe about some Krishna temple or maybe about some devotees, maybe about some temple programs that is happening. So everything a Krishna conscious person is speaking is about Krishna. He will not speak anything which is separated from Krishna. For example, if you're discussing about a cricket match that happened yesterday, let's keep. So, is there anything related to Krishna in the cricket match? Although everything belongs to Krishna, but if just talking about who won, how they played, what did they do, so is there anything related to Krishna? No.
No.
So, a Krishna conscious person does not talk such particular topics.
Topics.
So, for example, okay, we may talk about what happened, some unfortunate incident yesterday, but we are also relating it with the philosophy, not just talking about the incidents, recalling what is mentioned in Shastras, that there is a padam padami vipadamna tesha. The danger in every step, whatever is written in Shastras, we are seeing eye to eye. So that can be
So,
inspiration or
yeah,
something, an impetus for us to be always situated in Krishna consciousness, not
consciousness.
knowing
Yes.
that when we will have our last breath,
Yeah.
it can be
Yes.
any time. Therefore, we can become more serious in our Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, we
Yes.
may think, I am just, 40 years old or 50 years old or 30 years old. I have a lot of time. I'm going to live up to 80 years. There are 30 more
Foolishness.
years for me. So let me, go slow. I don't want to be, very serious about Krishna consciousness. Yes, I am chanting now. Slowly, I will increase my chanting. Slowly, I will start accepting Krishna Prasadam. Slowly, okay, when I get retired, I will have a lot of time. Maybe let me wait till the time I become 60 years. And then, I will get into devotion. But when you become 60 years, you see that your health is also deteriorating. You will not be able to spend as much time in Krishna consciousness as we are spending now when we are young. Correct? Your bones, you have back pain, you have leg pain, you have cholesterol, you have diabetes, you have BP. 50% of the our population is affected with one of these, right, Mataji? So therefore, we should take Krishna consciousness very seriously. Okay. So talk only about Krishna. Engage your tongue only to speak about Krishna. So we
Krishna.
can see that symptom of Sita Prajna. How does he speak? The language and sit. So we can all see the symptoms, for example, of how does he reveal his position, that is mentioned in the sloka number 55.
Fine.
Arjuna is asking questions, right? He asks 4 questions. So Krishna is answering those in different verses. And how does he speak? Krishna is answering to this question in the sloka number 56 to 57. How does he react to actions of others? And everywhere Prabhupada is mentioned because he lived up to a person of a Sita Prajna. How does he sit? Mentality, when the senses are withdrawn from the sense object, how is he situated? How can he control the senses? Prabhupada had a complete sense control. We see so many Swamijis today, they are all in many scandals, we have heard of them. Even in the internet, even if you search all over the internet, you cannot see one faulty message of Srila Prabhupada. One, because he never even behaved a tingy faulty. Even if a person is stingy, thinking somebody can make up a story. But Prabhupada, you can't see anything wrong about him in the internet. Wherever you search, can we see such a person? Today, when we are talking about the so called leaders of the world, and we see so many dirty things are coming out of them from the files, right? They are the so-called leaders of big organization for which we are toiling our entire life to become a part of their organization. Correct? How
Yeah.
happy one get a job in Microsoft. We think we have attained Vaikunta, right? Getting a job in Microsoft. And if you are having a job where you can work with the US ministry, with Trump, straight to straight, we think we are so, our life is settled. But what kind of people they are? Right? So we can understand, without understanding the kind of people whom we are with, and without even knowing we are serving them, and our entire lifetime we are struggling so hard to satisfy their desires. Then how will we become Krishna conscious? How will we attain liberation? Because our association is only with such people, right? And how does he engage his senses? Walk from sloka number 64 to 71. Krishna is particularly talking about how a Krishna conscious person, and says, and also there are parampara examples. All the acharyas in the parampara, they all showed the symptom of Sita Prajna. The Goswamis, they were all very, very rich. Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, they were ministers in the Nawabs. And they gave up their job. They were earning so nicely. They were so great scholars. And they gave up everything. And then they dedicated their life for serving Radha and Krishna. So Sanatana Goswami is telling, everybody thinks that I am a great scholar, but I do not know Kim Ami. Who am I? I do not know. I am such a fool. I do not know even who am I, but people are thinking me to be the great scholar. So all these Goswamis, they are all coming from very, very harsh and pious background. And in spite of that, you can see they are all leading a life of complete renunciation, right? And
Yeah,
those Sanatana Goswami cannot even, he doesn't even live in under one tree for more than 2 days because he thinks he will get attached to that tree. And we are building the house and we are thinking this house is us and living there permanently,
permanently.
correct? Thinking that this is all ours and this is going to be with us forever. So, in this sloka, we spoke about the importance of the word symptom as we
Yeah,
understand how important this word symptom is. And the most important symptom of all is the speech. How a
speech.
Krishna conscious person speaks. And what is the immediate symptom of a Krishna conscious person? What is the immediate symptom? We saw that. What is this immediate symptom? He speaks only topics related to Krishna.
About Krishna.
Krishna. That is very important. A Krishna conscious person does not speak anything other
Thing
than
else.
Krishna or the topics that are related to Krishna. So this is all about this sloka. We'll do one more sloka where
Yeah,
Krishna
yeah.
is talking about the symptom of how does he reveal his position. Okay,
Hmm.
that is we'll see. Okay. Uh, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 55. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Prajahati Yata Kaman
Prajahati Yada Kaman
Sarvan Partha Manogatan
Sarvan Partha Manogatan
Atmanyevatmana Tushta
Atmanevata Mana Tushta
Sita Prajna Sadoshyate
Sthita Prajnasta Totache
Sita Prajna Sakaba, sorry, Prajahati Yata Kaman
Prajahati Yada Kaman
Sarvan Partha Manogatan
Sarvan Partha Manogatan
Atmanyevatmana Tushta
Atmanevatmana Tushta
Sita Prajna Sadochyate
Sthita Prajnasta Tochate
Sita Prajahati Yata Kaman
Prajahati Yada Kaman
Sarvan Partha Manogatan
Sarvan Partha Manogatan
Atmanyevatmana Tushta
Atmanevatmana Tushta
Sita Prajna Sadochyate.
Sthita Prajnasta Tochate.
Would like to do this sloka? Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to do this sloka?
I'll continue, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 55. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha
Prajahate Yada Kaman
Prajahati Yata Kaman
Sarvan Partha Manogatan
Sarvan Partha Manogatan
Atmanevatmana Tushta
Atmanyevatmana Tushta
Sita Prajnasta Totache.
Sita Prajna Sadochyate.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Prajahati gives up, Yada, when, Kaman, desires for sense gratification, Sarvan, of all varieties, Partha, O son of Partha, Managatan, of mental concoction, Atmani, in the pure state of the soul, Eva, certainly, Atmana, by the purified mind, tushta, satisfied, sthita prajna, transcendentally situated, tada, at that time, uchyate, is said. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification which arise from mental concation, and when his mind, thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be pure transcendental consciousness.
So Krishna is replying to the questions of Arjuna. So the main thing is about how do we give up the desire for sense gratification. See, sometimes, people are following certain vrata, they are following certain things, but the desire remains. Externally, you may give up. Like, for example, somebody is following the Mauna Vrata for one full day. Immediately the next day, when the person starts speaking up, whatever he had in the previous day, around him, he will just spurt out. The desire for sense gratification remains. See, people go to the Tirtha Yatra and all their sinful activity get purified, but the desire to commit the sinful reactions is not going away. We saw that, how many, like 40 crore people took the dip in Mahakumbh last year.
Yeah.
Something like that, the data shows, which means like, 40 percentage of the Indian population or 30 percentage took the dip. So all these 30 percentage of the people, they become completely purified and they are not doing any sinful activities. No, not like that. If 30 percentage of the people in India have been, without anything, then India would be a different country altogether. Prabhupada said, even if 1 percentage of the world's population become Krishna conscious, then the entire world will get benefited. Even 1 percentage, 1 in 100% become Krishna conscious, that will give greater impact in the society. And imagine if 30 percentage of the people have become purified and they become saintly, then India would be what? Like a Vaikunta. India will
Hmm.
not be a people with, you will not hear any fights, you will not hear any murders, you will not hear anything. Every place will be like a Vaikunta. People will be living in harmony and people will be so nice and everything. Right, Mataji? When you're going in the
Yeah.
train, you see how people behave. Correct? In the public places, you see how the people behave. So the desire for sense gratification, which arise from mental concoctions. So we are making so many, you know, plans for sense gratification, right? If I do this, I will be happy. If I do that, I will be happy. A student thinks, okay, I'm studying so hard. When I finish my studies, I will get job in such and such company. And when I get so much, I will get this much remuneration, and with that I will go over the world, or I will buy a nice residence for myself, or I'll buy a nice BMW car for myself. Like that, how many
It
plans
goes
we
on, goes
make
on.
for our sense gratification. We make so many plans. Like today is a Sunday, imagine how many plans people would have made. And this weekend is also a Valentine weekend, right?
Hmm.
We see that how many plans people would have made for sense gratification. What do I do there? What gift I can do for that particular person? What do I do that? Where will I go? Where will I go for my lunch? Where will I go for my entertainment? Like that, we make so many plans, like mental concoctions, for all, for what? For just our satisfying our senses, right? So, for example, we cannot become desireless, because if we become desireless, that means we are stones. Then the nature of the soul cannot be desireless. But a devotee also has desires. What desire a devotee has? A devotee has a desire to go to the temple. A devotee has a desire, okay, this is a weekend, I have time. Let me engage my time in more of reading. Let me
Reading.
chant some extra rounds. Let me hear more about Krishna. Let me make some nice boga for Krishna. Other days, I am not able to make very nicely. So today, I will make such a nice lunch and let me offer it to Krishna. Right? So, like that, we are also having desires. But how our desires are? It is
Attached
different.
to Krishna.
Like, for
Yeah.
example, there is a smoke coming out of cigarette, there is a smoke
Hmm.
coming out of agarbatti. Both are smoke. But there is a lot of difference between the smoke coming from cigarette and smoke
Agarbatti.
coming from agarbatti. See, this is the difference between the desire for sense gratification and desire for serving Krishna. We cannot become desireless. We cannot just, say that I am not this body, I am the soul, so I'm completely detached. I'll just be quiet. I won't talk to anyone. I don't do anything. Will it be possible? No. When the Bhagavatam says, even people who are attaining that Brahma Jyoti, who become merged with Brahma Jyoti, they fall down because there is no activities there. It is just peaceful. There is no activity because the soul needs activity. Then those people who have got merged to the Brahma Jyoti, they fall down into this material world again and they become a philanthropist and those kind of people, because the desire is always there. One cannot become like completely desires. And his mind is purified. That's what Prabhupada in his class he said that a Krishna conscious person makes no plan. Because any plan you're making is because you think you are the doer. The advanced devotees, everything that they do, it may be a temple seva. It can be that tomorrow they are giving a class, Bhagavatam class. You know what they say? Tomorrow he'll be giving the class, Krishna willing. Even if you're inviting somebody to your home, they say, okay, we'll come to your home, Krishna willing.
Willing.
Everything that they talk, they use the word Krishna willing. But somebody is inviting us to a marriage or a birthday party. What do we write? Surely I will come. How sure are you are that you will go?
Mm.
Right? That means you think that you are the doer, you can do, right? That's how we say, right? This is the difference. So he stops making any plans, any kind of material plans. So that is a Krishna conscious person, does not make any plans for his material gains, for sense gratification. Material gains means what? Why do we need more and more materials? Because we think that those things will satisfy our senses. You're already having, let's say you're having a Honda car, and if you're looking for a BMW car, if the Honda car is doing the purpose of taking you from one place to another, why do we need a BMW car? Because we think that car will give us more comforts.
Satisfaction.
Comforts, right? More of satisfaction, comforts, but we can travel more nicely. We
Mm.
can enjoy our senses going in a BMW car than going in a
Mm.
Honda car. Like that, we make several plans, for what? For sense gratification. But a Krishna conscious person, he gives up all the desire for sense gratification. He makes no plans at all. Whatever he plans, he is doing it is only how will I satisfy Krishna? What will I do? Even that plan he makes, and what does he think? Krishna willing.
Willing.
Right? So find satisfaction in the self alone. He is said to be in pure transcendental stage. Okay? Because Krishna is within our heart. There is a friend within our heart, right? Then why are we looking for something outside? You look inward. Krishna says he is Sugritam Sarvabhutanam. He is a well-wisher of all living
All.
entities. But even if by chance, if we are taking the body of the dog in the next life, still Krishna will be
Still he will
coming
be
with us as a Paramatma. He is always accompanying us. So there is a friend within us. So we will be happy with the friend within us. So today we will not look for happiness in this world because of our friends or because of our relatives or because of the husbands or anything. We will be just happy by our own self. We don't need something external to keep us happy. It's not that if I'm watching this movie, I'll be happy. No. You will be happy by remembering the pastimes of Krishna, by remembering the glories of Krishna, by chanting his holy names, by serving Krishna. You will be automatically happy. You don't want to find that happiness from other sources. So this is very true. Even in my own life, previously, before coming in Krishna consciousness, when I was living in a country like Dominican Republic, where there were no Indians, I didn't have any engagements at all. So I used to feel very bored. I used to feel so unhappy. Where do I get happiness? What do I do to do this? Because I did not know what to do. But now, being in Bombay, being in COVID, being cut off from all the people for 2 years,
You can
I
still
was
be happy.
completely happy by taking the shelter of Krishna, by reading his Shastras and by doing devotional service. So now, even if I'm put into such a situation, for an example, then you won't get bored. So I
Mm.
consider, how unfortunate I am that I did not get any of the Prabhupada's books at that time
Then
when I was there. We feel ourselves, we have wasted our time, because
time.
unless otherwise a person is in Krishna consciousness, a person makes so many plans for sense gratification. For what do I do? Right? People, they make plans before, months before, how to celebrate the birthday party. If it is a special birthday like 50 years or 60 years, they make so much of plans, not months before. The moment they are 59, they will start planning, how will I celebrate my 60th birthday. Correct?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
parents of the small children's, they will start looking for the venue. Okay, this year we celebrated in such a place, next year where do we go? Right? You wouldn't have even packed up your stuffs from this year's birthday. You will start planning for next
Next
year's
year,
birthday. And people, they go on a vacation. Maybe this year they went to Switzerland. Before even coming to India from Switzerland, you would have planned which will be your next vacation spot.
destination.
Yeah, your destiny. This is how we plan. So, but a pure devotee has all good qualities. So, this is what Krishna is saying. Even in Bhagavatam, it is a Yasyasi Bhuktir Bhagavat Akinchana Sarvair Gunai. All the good qualities is automatically manifested in a devotee. We don't have to go to a seminar. How do I become a good speaker? How do I get out of my lethargy? How do I get out of this? How will I wake up early in the morning? How will I become more potential in my work? Like that. No, all the good qualities or automatic. How will I speak in such a way to impress others? You have so many seminars, Mataji. How do we impress others? How do
How
we
to
talk
speak?
in such a way? How to speak? How to do? How to be an early riser? Like that. You have so many things that are happening around the world. But for a person, Sarvair Gunais Tatra Ramati, all the good qualities is automatically manifested in a person who is Krishna conscious. He does not have to take special endeavor to develop these good qualities. By serving Krishna and by serving his representative of Krishna, the gurus, and his pure devotees, one can automatically develop all the good qualities.
World.
The Bhagavatam affirms that any person who is fully in Krishna conscious or devotional service to the Lord has all the good qualities of the great sages, whereas a person who is not so transcendentally situated has no good qualification, because he is in the mental concoction, because he is sure to be taking refuge of his own mental concoctions. It is not about what I think is good, what I think is bad. See, for example, Mahatma Gandhi, people were questioning him, you are promoting non-violence, but the fellow brothers, they are eating the cow. They are slaughtering the cow and eating. Why don't you stop that? You know what did Gandhiji said? He said that that is their religion. So if your religion allows somebody to cut the throat of somebody, can you just say the name of the religion and say my religion allows to cut the throat of a person, and you can just kill a person without anything because giving the name of a religion? Is that a religion? So this is all out of mental concoctions. It's not about what I think is good. What I think. Today, the word good is reframed. In today's world, according to the Gen Z generation, everything is modified. What is right and what is wrong? It is not that. Right is right, wrong is wrong.
Wrong is wrong.
Just because group of people does the wrong things, the wrong things cannot be taken right. Today,
Mm.
everybody is phone addict. So having the phone is a rightful thing, and doing browsing whatever they want is a rightful thing, because so many people does. Can we say it is right? They are becoming socially aloof. Their relationship is becoming very bad. Their performance in the work and everything is becoming very weak, very down. So, all these things are happening because of their addictions. And you're saying that this is how it is, so everything is okay. Can we say that? No. So it is very important that, to become Krishna consciousness so that all the good qualities are automatically developed in such a person. So what kind of desire should be given up? Mataji, would you
What
like to read this? What kind of
what
desire
kind
should
of
be given?
desires should be given up? Consequently, it is rightly said herein that one has to give up all kinds of sense desire manufactured by mental concoction.
Concussions. Okay. So all kind of sense, that is, you cannot think by your own thing. I feel, by doing this, I will be happy. Today, there is a, some kind of social norms allow responsible drinking, responsible relation with an opposite gender. So if that is how it is, so can we say that it is right? Drinking is bad. Smoking is bad. Having
उसमें
illicit connection
responsibility.
with other women is bad. Eating meat is bad. Everything is sinful. But you cannot reframe, just by taking, a little bit of a piece of a meat. It's nothing wrong. Just drinking a small ounce of alcohol, it is good for the lungs. You will be living longer, like that. And some people just having relation with other women, it increases your test or whatever component, so it is good for you. So can we say that, if this is all right? Because from mental concoctions, everything only talks about the sense desires, sense gratification. Because the mind is the one, which travels very, very fast. At this moment we are sitting here in Mumbai, you can be in US. Yes, no, Mataji. You can right
Yeah,
now, you can think what my son is doing in Dallas. What is he doing? Your mind is immediately transformed to Dallas within the fraction of a second
fraction of
sitting
second.
here. So the mind can travel very, very fast.
Far.
So the mind cannot, you cannot manufacture. So this mind making several plans for sense gratification, that has to be given. And some people think today's world, yogi bhi banna hai or bogi bhi banna hai. It is not like that. Suppose you want to eat a nice laddu, a prashadam. If your hands are completely greased and dirty, will you be in a position to take the laddu in the hand and eat?
No.
Won't the laddu get contaminated
Yeah.
because of your greased hand? So, thinking that you will be a yogi and you will be a bogi, how will it go together?
Mm.
On one side, you're following Krishna consciousness, you're trying to, re-establish your relation with Krishna. Another side, you're planning so many things for your own sense gratification. How will it work together? It's like
Mm.
aag jala diya aur bujha bhi diya.
Mm.
You invoke the fire and then you put water in it. So by chanting, by taking up Krishna conscious, by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, by reading, by doing all the thing, you're invoking. And by indulging yourself in sense gratification, what happened? You're destroying that. Like how you're turning off the lamp. So that's why, sometimes people think, okay, I am doing Krishna consciousness all the day. 11 months I am in Krishna consciousness. 1 month, let me take vacation. Let me go to a holiday destination and let me just be by myself. Let me just enjoy. Is this Krishna consciousness?
A
Because
continuous
11 months
process.
I'm doing. Yeah. 6 days a week I'm chanting. Sunday is a holiday. It's a day for me with my family and friends. So today, let me just have fun. Let me just enjoy. Other days, I will be Krishna conscious. No, you will not get advanced. You will never
Mm.
advance in devotion. You will be stuck wherever you are. That is the problem. You
Mm.
may be chanting for 20 years. You may be chanting for 30 years, but you will never advance in Krishna consciousness by doing both material and spiritual activities together. Therefore, one should completely come out of all kinds of material gratification or sense desires. On whose senses we should satisfy? Rishikesha Sevanam
Rishikesha.
Bhakti Ruchyate. We have to serve the
Rish.
senses of Rishikesha, who is the master of senses. By
Senses.
serving his senses, what will happen? Our senses will
This
get
is also
automatically
satisfied.
satisfied. Sarva Upadi Vinirmuktam Tat Paratvena Nirmalam. All the upadis, one come out of all kinds of material designation. I am an Indian, I am a woman, I am this, I am that, all the thing. And Tat paratvena nirmalam, and one gets completely purified. So, sense desires will cannot be vanquished, but the desire should be to satisfy the desire of Krishna. By pleasing Krishna, automatically our senses gets satisfied. Just
Satisfied.
by watering the roots, automatically the entire tree gets nourished, entire plant gets nourished. By giving the food to the stomach, our entire body gets nourished.
Yeah.
Our legs are working, our hands are working. If the leg thinks that I am working, why should stomach get the food? Will the leg be in a position to take the food on its own? Will the hand
No.
thinks that I am doing all the job of taking the food, I am going to the market, I am bringing, I am working with my hand, and I am the one who is performing the most activity of the body. Because of me only, you are able to procure things or do anything. So the hand thinks I need to eat. Why the stomach should eat? Can the hand eat on its own?
No.
Imagine the hand getting detached from the body. Will the hand have any value? As long as the hand is attached to the body, it has some value. The moment it gets detached, it has no value. So similarly, Krishna says, Mamaivamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We are all his part and parcels, eternal part and parcels. So the hand being part and parcel should remain with the whole, with the body. So we
Yeah.
being part and parcel, we should always remain with Krishna. Manashishtani Indriyani. Why we are not able to do? Because of mana, because of mind, our uncontrolled senses. Therefore, we think ourselves independent of Krishna. Therefore, we are suffering. The leaf which is in the tree, that will never become yellow, that will never die. As soon as the tree falls from the tree, what will happen to the leaf? The leaf will gradually get destroyed,
Dry.
right? Deteriorated. The leaves get deteriorated or dried because it fell down from the tree. But as
Tree.
long as the leaf is in the tree, the does nothing
It is
happens to the
fresh.
leaf. It is
Yeah.
fresh. So similarly, we being the part and parcel of Krishna, we are supposed to be in Krishna's Dhamma, where there is no birth, where there is no death, where there is no disease, where there is no old age. Because we detached ourselves from Krishna, therefore we are undergoing all these transformations. So we need to understand. So how do we go to such a place where there is no birth, there is no death, there is no disease? How is to be given up? Mataji, please read this.
How is to be given up? Artificially, such sense desires cannot be stopped. But if one is engaged in Krishna consciousness, then automatically sense desires subside without extraneous efforts. Therefore, one has to engage himself in Krishna consciousness without hesitation, for the devotional service will instantly help one onto the platform of transcendental consciousness.
So it's very easy. You cannot stop desiring, but what we should desire, our desire should be to please Krishna.
Krishna.
By engaging ourselves in Krishna conscious activities, by chanting the holy names, by hearing about Krishna, and by remembering about Krishna. So the devotional service starts with Shravanam and Kirtanam. First, we need to hear about Krishna faithfully. And then when you hear about Krishna, you automatically chant and you talk about the glories of Krishna to your friends and to your relatives and anything. And when your hearing and chanting is there, then automatically what comes? Remembrance comes. Smaranam
Madhura.
automatically comes. So one has to constantly engage in the main two activities, especially Shravanam and Kirtanam.
Kirtan.
Hearing Krishna's name and chanting his holy
Chanting his
names.
holy name.
So by doing this seva, this is also a seva. Just give your ears to Krishna, engage your tongue to Krishna, just engaging. And then, in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is said that Sevonmukho hi jigvaho, just by engaging your tongue in the service of Krishna, using the tongue only to speak about Krishna and accepting only Krishna Prasadam, then automatically we attain perfection in the Kali Yuga. Just engaging one sense completely for Krishna, you can get perfection. And in the topmost yoga system, Prabhupada has said that those who are engaging their tongue only in the service of Krishna, they will see Krishna face to face. Therefore, we should try to engage our tongue in the service of Krishna. By
Krishna.
engaging our speech, our tongue in the service of Krishna, then automatically the desire for sense gratification will go away itself. We don't want to stop. We never thought that, I will stop watching the movie because by watching the movie it will be detrimental for my Krishna conscious. No, the taste to watch the movie automatically went away because you developed a
Gradually
higher
it
taste.
goes.
Rasavarsham rasovasya param drishtva nivartate. When you got a higher thing, then the lower thing automatically goes away. For example, when we are very hungry, if somebody gives a dried roti also we will eat. But if you are getting a feast instead, which one you will prefer?
Yeah, the
Feast.
feast.
Why the dry roti? So similarly, if we are getting better engagement of our senses, then why do we go for the lower activities?
Yeah,
Right? So we will not go. So
correct.
therefore, the main thing is establish your relation with Krishna by being in Krishna consciousness. How can one find satisfaction in self?
How can one find satisfaction in self? The highly developed soul always remains satisfied in himself by realizing himself as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord. Such a transcendentally situated person has no sense desires resulting from petty materialism. Rather, he remains always happy in his natural position of eternally serving the Supreme Lord.
So the same thing we said, by serving the Lord, you are getting higher gratification because your desires, the Atma, the pleasure that you are getting from within is much higher than what the material objects can give to us. Even if you are getting a BMW car out of our fortune or out of our hard work, imagine if that car is getting a dent, how much sad we will become.
Hmm.
Correct? So we may fulfill our material desires, but the same material desires, what we try to fulfill, can become a cause of our misery.
Hmm.
But by for doing Krishna consciousness, by serving Krishna eternally, then what happened? We become naturally happy because that is
Hmm.
our natural position. Natural position of the servant is to serve the master. If the servant is doing anything other than serving the master, very soon he will be kicked out of the job as soon as he is identified. Right? So we as an eternal servants of Krishna, we should just remain in the service of Krishna. Then we will find satisfaction in the self. A personal secretary of the prime minister will eat the same thing what the prime minister is eating, will live in the same place where the prime minister is
No.
residing, will go in the same car where the prime minister is going.
Yeah.
But only thing is their position is different. But they are
Yeah.
basically enjoying the same thing. So similarly, we will also enjoy the same thing what Krishna is enjoying. But only thing is we should remember our real position that we are his servants. We should not think that we are the masters. The moment we think why Krishna is the enjoyer, why can't I be the enjoyer? That is the reason for our fall down. Therefore, we are in the material world and suffering. And just like being a prisoner in the C cell, by doing so much of hard work, after 10 years, you may be transferred to B cell and do
Yeah.
some more hard work and you're transferred to the A cell. But you're
Correct.
still in a bound situation.
Yeah.
What is the use of transferring from C cell to B cell to A cell? Prison is a prison. So this
Yeah.
material world is dukkhalayam, ashashvatam. So why are we trying to find happiness here? Knowing that it is misery, it's a place of misery and it is temporary, right?
Simple.
So with this we are finishing this particular two slokas. So very
Yeah.
beautiful section of
Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita
Yes.
is this
Yes.
particular thing. I really love this session so much, but by taking the learnings from these particular slokas, definitely one can advance in Krishna consciousness and one
Correct.
can remain steady in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
Any questions or any doubts in these two slokas? All clear?
Realization, Mataji. I can talk
Yeah.
about realization.
Okay.
This, what we, the symptom that we are talking about, Mataji, in, I think
Mm-hmm.
I can, somewhat I can, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying, but I can
Mm-hmm.
sense that now, previously 2, 3 years back, now, I used to
Mm-hmm.
keep on scrolling and watching movies
Mm-hmm.
and everything. But end
Mm-hmm.
of the day, I still feel, what did I bored? Okay. I still
Mm-hmm.
feel bored. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel, Mataji, I don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I can this what we are talking about this now, what we are talking about your
Mm-hmm. Mm,
See, I think slowly we are gradually, I
mm,
can think for my life, I can
mm,
gradually think like, yeah, Saturday and Sunday, morning itself, I chart down what I have to finish, like how
mm,
much I need to do, like
mm,
how much I have to finish. Okay, so
mm.
I think though I'm not able
Yeah.
to finish
No, no,
it,
it is
but
okay,
at least,
Mataji, but you're able to plan your desires
ha,
for towards
but my
Krishna. Earlier,
desires are
previously,
different,
yeah, desire
not
cannot
to,
be stopped, but the desire
ha,
is to serve Krishna now.
yeah, correct.
And
So
you must be
that
more happy. I think you're able to work better. You're
yeah,
not
and I
getting
feel like I
irritated
need
and
to read
frustrated.
more. The
Yeah.
energy also is different, Mataji.
Mm,
And when
mm,
you loudly, when you also chant,
mm,
when you
mm,
also read, so the
mm.
energy also, you are getting more positivity.
Definitely.
So the energy is also more.
Yeah, you feel more
But
recharged. You
that is
won't get
again
into
within
Monday
Mataji. I'm not
blues.
able to
No, no.
explain to you. I'll tell
No,
you
I
that. But
understand,
then,
Mataji. You will not get into Monday blues. By
ah,
being in Krishna consciousness, you will
there is no
be
blues
not getting
only.
blues at all. You will be
Yeah,
happily going to your job. Your two
yeah,
days, you recharge yourself by more of reading and more of chanting and by service
correct.
of Krishna. So
Yeah,
automatically, your next 5 days of the week will go
yeah,
happily because you
yeah.
are recharged with the this thing. Krishna is
I'm
empowering
still
you.
recharging. It's not fully recharged,
Yes,
but
Mataji, for
I
all of
can,
us, we are all
yeah.
sadhakas. We are all sadhakas, We are not.
So this I
Prabhupada is a
can
pure
relate
devotee.
it.
We are all, trying to follow the footsteps of Prabhupada and the Acharya by following the instructions given to them. We are trying to get in touch with them constantly, like how the iron rod, we are all like iron rod,
Yeah,
trying to get in contact with the fire so that we can also become. So we are trying ourselves to get in
yeah,
touch with Krishna consciousness as much as possible. So slowly, 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 the iron rod will not become fiery within a minute.
yeah,
It will take
yeah,
time. Constant touch, slowly, 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 it will become
yeah,
fiery. Correct? So
yeah,
similarly, by remaining constantly in touch with Krishna, then we will see that we are transforming, we are changing. Mataji, Prabhupada's books and Prabhupada's words are very, very powerful. Like recently, one young boy who was just 21 years old, he got one small book. Just by reading that book, within 2 months, he became a chanter of 16 rounds. He did not attend any class. He did not even go to temple. One small book of Prabhupada preached him so much, and he put Kanti in the Nityananda Trayodasi day, and he himself took some books for book distribution now. He wants to do it himself because he wants to give the mercy to others. We can see how potent is Prabhupada's books, how potent is Prabhupada's lectures, Prabhupada's class and voice. So we should try to remain in touch with Krishna consciousness through Prabhupada. Okay, Mataji, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity